Hey, welcome back. Welcome back. Welcome back to another episode of Dre State of Mind with your boy Dre. Just wanted to cover some things that's been going on. And without further ado, we're just going to get right into it. So, the first story I want to address is about the University of Alabama basketball player Darius Miles. Not to be confused with Darius Miles from the Los Angeles Clippers, who was in the NBA, but this is another Darius Miles. He was charged with murder in the death of a 23-year-old mother and removed from the team. The victim's loved ones say she was shot and killed because she declined a man trying to flirt with her, which was Darius Miles. And so Miles, who's 21, um, and Michael Lynn Davis, who's 20, I'm assuming that was you know, Darius Miles' friend, were arrested and charged with capital murder in the shooting death of I believe it's Jamea Jamea Harris near the university campus early Sunday. The Tuscaloosa Violent Crimes Unit said. Now, the two men made their initial court appearances on Monday and are being held without bail. Now, witnesses say that Davis was the shooter and got the weapon from Miles, according to depositions from the Tuscaloosa Sheriff's Office investigator Brendan Culpepper. This is also now. There's also surveillance video of the shooting. The court documents say. Now, Darius, he admitted to providing Michael Davis with a handgun immediately prior to the shooting. Culpepper said in his deposition of Miles' case. CNN has made has made attempts to reach out to Miles' attorney, who said in a statement obtained by CNN affiliate WBRC that Miles and his family are heartbroken over Harris' death, but maintains his innocence and looks forward to his day in court. So, I guess what he's saying is, yeah, I gave, you know, Davis. No, hold up. So pretty much, if I'm reading this correctly, Miles, yeah. So I'm assuming that yeah, I gave Miles, but I gave Davis, a gun, but he's probably going to use the offense that I didn't know what he was going to do with the gun, type thing. So I'm not sure if it was, you know, Miles who actually was the person that was trying to flirt with, Miss Harris, or if it was, his boy Davis. But pretty much like it's sad that just because she didn't want to accept the person's flirtatious advances does like she should still be here. Like she shouldn't have been killed just because someone can't handle rejection. So Miles was the only person connected to the University of Alabama involved in the shooting, authorities say. The university's athletics department announced Sunday that he has been kicked off the basketball team, which he rightfully should be, as he showed a lapse of judgment. Um, even if he had nothing to do with the shooting, and it was his boy that got turned down, he got emotional and he went and he, shot Jamea Harris. Still, that's a lapse of judgment. So, but when police responded to the shooting at around 1:45 a.m. Sunday, they found Harris had been fatally shot while she was in her car less than half mile from the campus. Harris and her boyfriend had driven to Tuscaloosa from Birmingham to visit her cousin, who was a student at the University of Alabama. Harris's mother, DeCarla Cotton, told CNN. Now, Harris told boyfriend Cotton the three of them, no, that the three of them were getting something to eat after a night out when a man approached Harris and started flirting with her. Her mother said he was advancing on her and she declined the attention. He refused to go away, Cotton told CNN. While they were attempting to leave, one gentleman walked up to the car and started shooting. Harris' boyfriend shot back and hit one of the suspects, Cotton said. The suspect later went to the local hospital, and which helped connect him to the shooting. She added, investigators said that one of the suspects was hit by the returning gunfire and sustained a non-life-threatening wound. So, I mean, whoever had the wound, which I'm assuming that they figured was Davis, he, I guess that's how they put two and two together. So, pretty much, like, it's sad. Like, my man's, her boyfriend tried to, defend her honor and things of that nature, but yeah, I guess he was a little bit too late on the draw. Um, but pretty much, how they describe her, like, they said she wasn't a troublemaker. She was a hardworking mother who got up every day to take care of her son. Harris's 5-year-old son is staying with Cotton. The mother said, "I haven't found the words to explain to him yet," and that's a sad, that's heartbreaking because he has to grow up without his mother because somebody couldn't accept rejection, which and that's another issue within itself. Pretty much like these youngins nowadays, like these young males. I was having a discussion with my fiance about this last night in the car when I was letting her know what was going on with this this news thing, this news headline, and pretty much like I'm just like, yo, these youngins nowadays, like especially these young black males, like they don't. It seems like they don't know how to express themselves. You know, they don't know how to address their emotions, whether it be they're sad, they're depressed, they're angry. It's just a lot of, I guess, like oh, you need to man up and you got to suppress your feelings and you can't express like sadness, or you can't express disappointment or anything like that because they're gonna think that you're soft. Like, nah, fuck all that, man. Like, you need someone to talk to, whether it's a therapist, if it's a friend, a family member, whoever. Like, if you need to talk to somebody before you end up doing something that's gonna mess up the rest of your life and possibly end somebody else's life. Like, this is something that needs to be addressed in the black community. Like, I understand, like, yeah, there's times when you gotta be tough and there's times when you gotta man up, but when it comes to your emotions and it comes to your mental health and your well-being, like, you definitely got to talk to somebody. You can't just suck it up and just be like, oh, I'll be all right. But shit keeps compounding on you, and eventually it's not going to be all right, and you're going to end up doing something that you're probably going to regret for the rest of your life. So that's what I always say. Like, there's people who I know personally, I'm just like, yo, and I tell them that, like, if you ever need to talk, if you ever need a ear to listen or a shoulder to lean on or something like that, hit me up. But sadly, not that many people actually hit me up on that. Like, the people don't take me up on that offer. The people don't take me up. Like, I'm here to listen. See, but the thing is, like, I guess with some people, if they go to vent to somebody, they're used to, I guess, like, someone either using that information against them, or talking behind their back or whatever. Like, me personally, like, whatever you tell me is going to stay between you and me. And if anybody tries to be like, yo, what happened with such and such, or what's wrong with them, it's be like, yo, you gotta talk to that person. If they don't want to tell you, they don't want to tell you. But pretty much, like, whatever you say between us is going to stay between us. So that's another thing, or another reason why people in our community, in the black community, don't like talking to other people or venting to other people, is because people like to run their mouth, or they just like to throw that shit in your face or use it against you whenever they get mad at you or something like that. So it's like, we got to do better as a people, like, all around, because shit like this just keeps happening, and I'm tired of seeing, black women losing their lives to, dudes that black men who can't handle fucking rejection, and it's sad and it pisses me off, like for real, because she had a whole life ahead of her. She was only 23 years old. This dude's 21. He threw his whole fucking life away, and the other dude's 20. So these two dudes threw their whole life away for what? For nothing. Because your pride and your ego was hurt. Like, bro, she was literally there with her boyfriend. Like, how much of a dickhead or a narcissist or some cocky fuck, that you gonna try and spit game with her? Like, her boyfriend's like right over there. Like, I know like some chicks, even if a chick doesn't have a boyfriend or whatever, if she says like, oh, I got a boyfriend, and she doesn't have a boyfriend, if she doesn't want to talk to you, she don't want to talk to you. No is a complete sentence. That's what you niggas don't understand right now. Or, you know what I'm saying? Like, one, you're not entitled to a woman. You're not entitled to a woman. She's a fucking human being, and pretty much, no means no. And that goes the other way around too with these chicks that won't take no for an answer with a guy either. Like, no means no, whether you're a man or a woman. It's a complete fucking sentence, and people need to respect that shit. But, I'm getting off topic. I'm just going on a little rant, but like, you know what I'm saying? Like, this is just how I feel, and just how I look at the situation. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, just because you're mad at that particular moment doesn't mean you should throw her life away, your life away, and then on top of that, now this kid has to grow up without his mother, and like it's sad. And then you're gonna perpetuate the damn cycle, because now this kid is gonna grow up with emotional damage and shit because he doesn't have his mother. Like, other kids are gonna have their mother, he's not gonna have his mom. He's gonna feel some type of way. So hopefully they can get that, the kid when he grows up, like, get him some therapy and everything like that as well. Like, it's a never ending like cycle of trauma. Like, it's ridiculous. Now, head coach Nate Oates, he addressed, Miles's removal from the team. He said, "I just want to start today by offering our deepest condolences to the family and friends of Jamea Harris, a young woman, daughter, and mother who was taken way too soon from a senseless act." He said at the opening of the press conference, the team gathered Sunday night to talk about the shooting and arrest of their teammate. Oates said, they said, "We're continuing to support each other as we process this and balance school and basketball." He said, "The team will continue practicing in preparation for Tuesday's game against Vanderbilt University." And he said, "I wish we weren't having to address the situation, but we've got to pull together as a team at this point and really just be there for each other." So, you know what I'm saying? At least like they got each other, they got teammates and stuff to lean on, and I'm pretty sure some of them might actually have to talk to a sports therapist or something like that, depending on, if they're close to those who were close or cool with Darius Miles or whatever. So, like, it's a tragic situation all the way around, and like I said, like, people, like, especially young black men, got to start talking to people, and like, whether it's a therapist, like, there's no bad thing. There's nothing wrong with talking to a therapist. There's nothing wrong with talking to somebody if you're going through some things and you need to just talk out some issues, or what I'm saying, you gotta get your mental health right. You know what I'm saying? Because this shit it doesn't only affect you, it affects other people, and your actions always have a direct effect with other people. That's what people don't understand, because they don't look outside of themselves. So yeah, like, definitely, and dudes need to learn how to handle rejection as well, because rejection is a part of life, whether you like it or not. Not everybody's going to tell you yes, and you're going to get told no way more than you're going to get told yes in this world. So that's just how the way shit goes. So you got to learn how to process rejection. It's coming. Not every single chick is going to want you. Like, you're not God's gift to women. You're going to be ugly to somebody, or just your vibe or whatever, that it's not going to be compatible for everybody else. So that's what you got to learn. That's what you young men have to learn and even women. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, people just have to learn how to deal with rejection. And pretty much, like, I'm just keeping an eye on the story, and if I have any more information, then I'll just bring it up in the future episode. But this is a sad situation all the way around, and condolences once again to the young lady who lost her life. All right, man. So I remember seeing this back in 2020, and I was like, "Yo, what the fuck?" But there's been an update in the Ron Jeremy case. Just in case people don't know who the hell Ron Jeremy is, if you've never watched porn before, he is a former porn star. I say former because he's been pretty much locked up since 2020. Now, Los Angeles judge on Tuesday declared that porn performer Ron Jeremy is mentally incompetent to stand trial on dozens of rape and sexual assault counts. Superior Court Judge Ronald S. Harris said in a hearing that after reviewing reports from both prosecutors and Jeremy's defense, that he is in, quote, incurable neurocognitive decline, unquote, from which he is unlikely to recover. Prosecutors asked that he periodically be reevaluated. A hearing on placing 69-year-old Jeremy, whose legal name is Ronald Hyatt. Yo, I really thought my man's name is Ron Jeremy for all these years, but that's wild. His name is actually Ronald Hyatt. In a state hospital will be held next month. Jeremy pleaded not guilty to a grand jury, actually after a grand jury indicted him on 34 counts of sexual assault, including 12 counts of rape. Yo, this dude he's wilding. When he was arrested 2 years ago, I said he would be found innocent of all charges, Jeremy's attorney, Stuart Goldfarb, said in an email. 2 years have passed, and with additional discovery I received, I believe he would have been found innocent. Now, it is unfortunate due to mental condition. He will not go to trial and have the opportunity to clear his name. Jeremy, who has remained in jail since his arrest in 2020, did not attend the hearing. An email seeking comment Tuesday from District Attorney's Office was not immediately returned. Nicknamed the Hedgehog, Jeremy, who had been among the best known and most prolific actors in the porn industry for decades, and became a recognizable pop culture novelty through reality shows, public appearances, and his music videos. Well, music videos, because he did appear in music videos. He has been a magnet for seekers of autographs and selfies, which is how he first encountered most of the women and girls anywhere from age 15 to 51. He is accused of assaulting between the 1990s and 2019. According to the transcripts of grand jury testimony from the women and girls obtained by the Associated Press, Jeremy would lure them into a small secluded place, often the bathroom of a West Hollywood bar or a grill that he frequents, and trap them and sexually assault them. The Los Angeles Times first reported that Jeremy would not be going to trial. The charges stem from a district attorney's task force set up to investigate entertainment industry sexual misconduct after reports about Harvey Weinstein in 2017 made the Me Too movement an international phenomenon. Now, Jeremy was among a very few men charged in the task force, along with Weinstein himself, who was convicted of rape and sexual assault in December. Prosecutors are still deciding whether to retry Weinstein on several counts from which his jury was deadlocked. Now, they plan on retrying Danny Masterson, who was, I guess, brought up on 3 counts of rape after his jury failed to reach verdicts last month. So that's pretty much what's going on with Ron Jeremy. So he's not going to trial. So I if he actually really did do this, how do his victims, how do they get closure? How do they get justice that they're seeking, even though he's, they're saying that he's not mentally fit to, pretty much like take the stand and go to trial. So that's my question. And I wish I actually had like a lawyer who can answer that question, because this is wild. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like, how do they go about seeking justice? Like, if he's not mentally fit and they're just gonna put him in a in a hospital. Like, they're gonna put him, pretty much like what was it? I guess it's like a jail hospital or something like that. Uh they said like that he's in a mental condition that, he pretty much is like it's incurable, and he's not most likely not going to recover from. So they're just going to put him in a fucking, like, I guess like a mental hospital or something like that. Like, I don't know, but pretty much it was, I was like, damn, like, not Ron Jeremy. Like, you know what I'm saying? He out here sexually assaulting and raping chicks. Like, because I don't give a fuck who you are. If you sexually assault, someone, or rape someone, like, you're a piece of shit. So no matter how many damn movies I watch from you, growing up, and a lot of motherfuckers is talking about some, yeah, I got my stroke game from Ron Jeremy and blah blah blah. Like, you might want to reevaluate that shit, man. Like, these porn stars, some of them are wilding, man. Like, or the other one was like, yo, I get my black dudes, but like, yo, I got my stroke game from Mr. Marcus. But I'm just like, yo, he got caught up doing some shit too. Like, and he's pretty much blackballed from the industry. I think he had like syphilis or something like that, and he lied about it on his test, and still went and performed, and spread that shit to some other chicks and all that. So yeah, like, the porn game is a dirty game, man. It's a you gotta be safe. You gotta be safe out there. But pretty much, yeah, Ron Jeremy, he's a legend in some people's eyes, and you know what I'm saying. It's sad how he's going out, but if you did the crime, you damn sure gotta do the time, man. And that's just how I feel about it. So look, I guess we'll see what happens. If his victims will be able to get justice, or if this is it, or this is closure on the case. So it's wild. Like, this is sad. Now this story is just fucking wild, and I'll start dying laughing when I seen this shit. When I first seen this shit. If you haven't heard about the Tennessee cop gone wild, Maegan Hall. Now, pretty much like, all right, so she's a cop, in a small town in Tennessee, and pretty much like she was just fucking wilding. Like, she got caught up like fucking, like 8 of her coworkers, like caught up in a damn sex scandal, and pretty much like all right, so they got caught up in a girls gone wild, pretty much like pool party going on. So she said that she was in an open marriage, but her husband pretty much like was like, nah, we're not in an open marriage. So pretty much an investigation was published December 28th, detailing what played out at a party when Hall allegedly walked in on his wife, kissing the wife of a former, I guess it's Laverne, patrol officer, Patrick Maglico, or whatever his name is. I don't fucking know. So Hall and Maglio, some wife, started kissing. Then Hall's husband came into the room and he seemed very upset. Now, pretty much said like it was in an open marriage. Said he wasn't really on board with that. And Magliocco also admitted to having sex with Hall, on numerous occasions. So he told her husband like, yo, I done smashed a chick. I done smashed a chick, like, you know what I'm saying, numerous occasions. So she was just like a little loose with the coochie, like, you know what I'm saying, in the police department. So it says the scandal has left the Nashville suburb reeling, with the police chief vowing to rebuild trust with the community. Maegan Hall's salacious escapades allegedly included a booze fueled hot tub party where she took off her top and two separate instances when she allegedly performed oral sex on two male colleagues. She was also accused of sending nude photos, taking part in a threesome, and even bragged about one of her colleagues' big black dick. Yo, so like I said, like this chick is wild, yo. The funny thing about it is, like, you know what I'm saying, like, I don't know, maybe the pussy fire, like I don't know, but I just can't get past the fact that this chick looks like Simon Pegg. If you don't know who the fuck Simon Pegg is, he was in Mission Impossible. He's like the British dude, like the tech dude, or he's famously in the movie Shaun of the Dead. Also, what was it? The movie The World's End. Like he was in there too. But yo, this chick definitely looks like Simon Pegg, and I'm like, yo, who the fuck wanted to fuck that? That is disgusting. So pretty much like, yeah, so she got like five cops. Well, okay, so during the investigation, five cops got fired, and then like three were suspended. So that's a total of like eight people that got in trouble for fucking Megan. Or like, you know what I'm saying, having some type of sexual relationship with her, or just, you know, just having sex with her. So the officers who were disciplined, the fired officers are patrol officer, well, Maegan Hall, patrol officer Juan Lugo Perez, sergeant, damn, she's fucking the sergeant too. Henry Ty McGowan, Sergeant Lewis Powell, damn, she's getting high ranking officers fired. Detective Seneca Shields. So she got like two sergeants and a detective fired after the investigation. The city identified the following as the three suspended officers without pay: patrol slash K9 officer Larry Holiday, patrol officer Patrick Magliaco, and patrol officer Gavin Showborough. So, what did the investigators find? Like I said, the investigation found that some officers who worked second shift were engaging in unreported sexual relationships, having sex on duty and on city owned property, and committing sexual harassment by sending explicit photos and videos. So I guess even if it was consensual, I guess it's still considered sexual harassment. I don't know, because I guess cops aren't supposed to be fucking with cops unless, I guess, you let your supervisor know, and they'll be like, all right, cool. The document includes an investigation of sexual harassment by officers, well, of officers, which involved sending nude photos of one of the officers who was ultimately fired. The report mentions officers failing to report their sexual relationships and sexual activity while on duty. Like, yo, you supposed to be out here protecting and serving, not getting that ass. The document also mentions a finding of workplace violence. So someone was getting their ass whooped, and accuses McGowan of coming into HR office and putting his hands around the neck of another. God damn. So I guess like what? And he was like, yo, you fucking such and such, like you fucking Megan. Like I don't know what's going on. So niggas fighting over the pussy? That's wild. Another finding accuses Powell and McGowan of conspiring to be untruthful during the investigation. So the Laverne police chief, Burrell, Chip Davis, said in a statement that the firing and suspension of the officers have created a difficult situation for the department and the city. No shit. You got your officers just busting nuts on duty while they're supposed to be protecting the town and the citizens and stuff. Like, they out here fucking. So if someone needed the cops and they didn't show up in a timely manner, or they just didn't show up at all, you know why? Because they was on duty fucking. I want to be clear that the actions of a few do not represent this department as a whole. The chief said, "How big is the?" I think they said it was like a 60 man, like it's a 60 man like police force in that particular town. So this situation is being addressed internally with our staff. We are bringing in counselors to help our officers work through these circumstances, and we'll continue to provide the most professional protection as possible for this community. So yeah, man, like yeah, okay. So it's a 60-person department. Now has 11 vacancies, but Davis said there's enough staff to cover patrol shifts and protect the community. Both Davis and Cole said that the department needs to rebuild trust within the city, which Cole says has to be in full confidence. Well, he has full confidence in. So, yeah. So one chick causing like a big ass fucking mess because she just wanted to fuck like, uh, pretty much like all of her. Well, I just mad fucking coworkers. Like she just out here fucking like a whole bunch of coworkers. And like she just wanted to just be a smut. So like pretty much like she got, thotty of the she's got thotty of the year right now. So and she became like a fucking meme. Like this shit is all over the internet and all that. Like, this chick was really, really fucking wilding. And like actually like her husband I guess like decided to stay with her, which is wild. That's even more wild. um so I guess it's like, stand by your man, stand by your woman. So I mean they got a lot of issues to work through. I would say. And yeah, man, like I just thought that was an interesting story, and it had me laughing my ass off because I'm like, yo, niggas is really pressed. Like they was out here fucking a chick that looked like Simon Pegg. Like that's wild. But I guess the coochie was fired though. I'm assuming the coochie was fired because you got cats fighting over the pussy, risking their job, their livelihood over the pussy. Like that's fucking crazy. Like the head must be tremendous. Like this chick must be a fucking glizzy goblin. I have no clue. But yeah, if there's stop fucking on duty. That's all I can say. Like, and it doesn't matter where the hell you work at, whether you're a cop, EMT, warehouse worker, or whatever. I always tell motherfuckers like who want to fuck with coworkers and everything, do not shit where you eat. Don't fuck up the money because you gonna end up fucking the money. You end up gonna fuck up the money because eventually like the shit is going to end. You're having fun now. It's going to end, and then motherfuckers is gonna be uncomfortable or end up beefing and shit like that, or motherfuckers is gonna get in trouble. So it's not really worth it. Don't do it. That's all I gotta say about that. So now we're going to bring it over to the sports side. The NFL playoffs kicked off last week with the wild card games. So for pretty much the San Francisco 49ers took out the Seattle Seahawks 41-23. That was a Saturday game. The Jacksonville Jaguars actually came back down from a 27-0 deficit to beat the Los Angeles Chargers 31-30. That led to the Los Angeles Chargers firing their offensive coordinator. I'm just like, hey, the head coach needs to go too, because you can't put all that shit like on the offensive coordinator. The head coach, the fuck is this? Their head coach's name? I forgot what his name is, but he needs to get fired too, because that boy is ass. And ultimately, yeah, like an offensive coordinator can call the plays, but the head coach got to sign off on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Like when he's like, "Yo, we're gonna call this play," blah blah blah. He could be like, "Nah, yo, let's call this play." So, that the whole damn coaching staff needs to get fired. So pretty much, yeah, that was like a historic meltdown on the Chargers' part. It was like I believe the third largest deficit ever overcame in a NFL playoff game. So then on that Sunday, well, last Sunday, the Buffalo Bills beat the Miami Dolphins, which they actually it was a more competitive game than most people thought it was going to be because the Dolphins actually had Skylar Thompson starting at quarterback because Tua Tagovailoa, he's still in concussion protocol. I believe it's like his second or third concussion that he's had this season. The Dolphins are intent on like destroying that man's career. So pretty much like they actually did the right thing, held him out. Well, they can't take him out of concussion protocol anyway. Like once you're in concussion protocol, you have to show signs that you're healthy enough and you're cognitive enough to, get the hell up out of the concussion protocol. So and then the New York Giants beat the Minnesota Vikings in Minnesota. That was the upset of the week, well, of the weekend. If you really want to look at it, I guess it's a toss up between the Jacksonville Jaguars and beating the Chargers. That game it could have went either way. Even though Jacksonville beat the Chargers, they beat them soundly. They whooped their ass in the regular season. But the Giants actually took out the 13-4 Minnesota Vikings. Daniel Jones actually played a hell of a game. And Kirk Cousins, with the game on the line, it was 4th and 8. My man threw a 3-yard pass, and their tight end got tackled, and that was pretty much the end of the game because the Giants got the ball back and they just ran the clock out. And the Cincinnati Bengals actually beat their rival, the Baltimore Ravens, 24-17. And then in the final wild card matchup on this past Monday was the Dallas Cowboys, and they gave the Tampa Bay Buccaneers a thorough ass whooping. That was probably one of the worst performances I've seen by Tom Brady ever in a playoff game. And I'm just like, bro, you might need to hang this shit up. You might need to hang it up. Maybe it was the bad offensive line that Tampa Bay's had all year. They just happened to, squeak it to the playoffs because their division just sucked all around, and someone actually had to win the division. And that's why I'm saying, like, instead of having division winners, like if you don't have a winning record, they were 8-9. So if you don't have a winning record, I just think like they should just go to, the tops, whoever has like the best records in each conference. Fuck whoever wanted that the division or whatever. Like pretty much like if you are below, 500 or whatever, you shouldn't make the playoffs because like that was a team that didn't deserve to make the playoffs at all. Like it seemed like they were starting to turn it around like the last 2 games. Actually, their last 3 games. Because actually like they played maybe like a quarter or something like that week. The last week of the season, they got their ass whooped by the Falcons. But the 2 opponents that they played before then, like they did whoop ass. So it looked like they were turning it around, but then they just were completely ass against the Dallas Cowboys. So the divisional round will take place on January 21st and the 22nd. It includes 4 games that will determine who moves on to the conference championship games in the NFC and the AFC. So the Philadelphia Eagles and the Kansas City Chiefs will actually be in action. They both have first round byes. So the New York Giants are coming to Philadelphia for the second time this season, and it's going to be the 3rd game, the rubber match. So they always say that it's hard to beat a team 3 times in the season. The Eagles have beaten the Giants twice. We're going to go for the trifecta against the Giants. That game is at 8:15 on Saturday, and the Dallas Cowboys actually play Sunday. They play the San Francisco 49ers. So the Eagles are the 1 seed. Giants are a 6 seed. The Cowboys are a 5 seed. And the San Francisco 49ers are the 2nd seed in the NFC. So over on the AFC side, The Jacksonville Jaguars play on Saturday. They take on in a rematch, which I believe the Chiefs did beat them earlier in the season, 24-17. So it's a rematch with the Chiefs. They play Saturday at 4:30 p.m. And then on Sunday, the Cincinnati Bengals take on the Buffalo Bills, which is actually a rematch of a game that actually happened. I think it was like a couple weeks ago. The first game took place in Cincinnati. That's where the tragic circumstances took place with Damar Hamlin, who was out of the hospital since, and he's on the mend. So that's a good thing. So their first game was actually canceled. After that whole thing happened. So now the Bills host the Cincinnati Bengals. The winner of that game, actually, because the Bengals were actually winning, but the winner of that game probably would have hosted this game. So pretty much the Bills, since they finished with a better record than the Bengals, they actually host this game. So those are the divisional round matchups. The winners move on to the respective conference championship games in the AFC and the NFC, and that will be on January 29th. So yeah, I'm really hoping that my Eagles. I'm not gonna say it's a guaranteed win, but I'm really hoping that my Eagles handle business and they move on against the Giants. Now, would I want to see a third matchup with the Cowboys? Yeah, because they gotta come to Philly, and both squads will be healthy. So it will be nice to see them, play each other, both, with their starting quarterbacks and key players healthy. But 49ers, either or, if the Eagles move on, either the Cowboys or the Cowboys or the 49ers, they got to come to Philly. So either way, the road to the Super Bowl on the NFC side comes through Philly. So yeah, that's pretty much it. I'm excited. I actually got to work this weekend, so I'm gonna see if I can sneak the game. On my phone, pretty much watch that shit on my phone while I'm at work, or just keep updates on my phone and see what's going on with the game. But yeah, man, the NFL playoffs is in full effect, and this is one of my favorite times of the year because there's nothing more exciting than the NFL playoffs. And so that's pretty much the sports report for this episode, and we're just gonna move on. So that's gonna bring this episode to a close. Just wanted to thank everybody for taking their time out of their day, their busy day, to check me out, listen to this episode of Dre's State of Mind, and appreciate everybody's support. If you like, share, and listen to the podcast. Just trying to stay more consistent, and just come up with more content and things of that nature to talk about. Like I said before, whatever platform that you're listening to, at the bottom there should be a link that you can click on. You can leave a voicemail, you can leave a message. On Spotify, there should be a link. It asks what did you think of this episode, or what did you think of this show? Just go ahead and respond to that. And also, you can hit me up if you follow me on Facebook, Twitter, and just chat with your boy. Andre Gainer on Facebook, and my Instagram is the Big Homie Dre, and Twitter is the Big Homie Dre. So make sure to hit me up on my social medias, and if you want to hear anything, hear me talk about anything, cover anything, just let me know. Everybody have a great, productive day, and I will holler at y'all later. Peace.